Hello, and welcome to my channel. Thank you for joining me. My name is Kali, and today we're going to be talking about what is gaslighting. So, gaslighting is a form of psychological abuse where the abuser attempts to sow self-doubt and confusion in the minds of their victims. Typically, gaslighters are seeking to gain power and control over the other person by distorting reality and forcing the other person to question their own judgment, perceptions, and intuition. They do this by minimizing the feelings and words of their victims. So, for example, if you are a scapegoated child, trying to defend yourself against something that your narcissistic parent has just said to you, instead of addressing your concerns, the narcissist might say something like, "Oh, it was just a joke," or "You're way too sensitive." Gaslighters don't take your opinions and emotions into account because they're trying to mold reality to fit their needs. By convincing you that you're the problem, they can do this and avoid accountability for their bad behaviours. Gaslighters can make you question yourself and your sanity by manipulating your perception of yourself. For example, they can make negative remarks about your intelligence, your memory, capabilities, or competence. For example, if you bring up something that they have done, they might say something like, "Oh, are you sure you're remembering that properly? That is way out of character for me to do." By constantly using these behaviours, they brainwash you to think that their perception of reality is more accurate than yours. They fully intend to make you feel small, underrated, and alone. Their words and behaviours are deliberate and malicious, and not an innocent mistake. They'll constantly try to throw you off balance so that you seem unstable to yourself and to other people. For example, they will accuse you of something you haven't done, or claim something isn't true, or deny something they've said previously, such as making a promise. And so you defend yourself, you deny their accusations, and you get upset. When this happens, the narcissist will calm down and relax and then say something to you like, "Oh, you're really out of control. You're so dramatic and chaotic. Is there something wrong with you?" And this will activate your fears and doubts about yourself because at that moment you do look a bit unhinged and out of control. If these patterns become established, your personality may change and you may start to become anxious, depressed, negative, and this will further convince you and others that you are the problem. The narcissistic abuser might also use more covert methods to gaslight you. So when you're in social situations, they'll be extremely charming and kind to everyone at the event. And this will lead other people to say what a wonderful person your narcissistic parent is or partner is. And you will also be confused and say to yourself, "Oh, this is a wonderful person. It must be me. It must be my perception about them that's wrong." A narcissistic abuser will also launch a smear campaign against you and tell your friends and family how difficult you are and how you're always getting so worked up over nothing and how they have to try and calm you down all the time. They might enlist your siblings against you if you're the scapegoat in a family and say, "Don't interact with that person because they're a troublemaker and they're a bad influence." And then the siblings will also continue gaslighting you So if you try to tell them what happened and how your parents been abusing you, they might say something like, our mother was a lovely mother and you're just making this up because you're a troublemaker. Like most narcissistic abusers, they want you to look chaotic and unstable and doubt yourself so that you can take on their negative emotions and negative feelings about themselves. So they won't have to address these things. And also, they can feel powerful by manipulating and controlling another person. Obviously, this is very dangerous for you, for your mental, physical, and spiritual health. If a pattern becomes established where you start to believe the gaslighting, you may stop believing in yourself, stop being your true self, and start to become what the gaslighter says you are. You may even start to hate yourself, which is extremely damaging and dangerous. If this goes on long enough, you may find it increasingly hard to set boundaries and find it increasingly hard to get out of this toxic relationship because you are continually losing your sense of self and your energy, and you're not being your true self. How do we remedy this and start to fix the damage? Firstly, you have to stop defending yourself and explaining yourself to the narcissistic abuser because they're not listening. This is all about manipulating your perceptions about yourself. It's not a genuine debate. Don't keep emails, texts, and don't record things to mount some kind of argument. Don't get upset at what they're saying because then they'll be able to play the game of, well, I'm so calm and you're so chaotic and out of control. When you start to feel negative emotions, disengage from the conversation and or refuse to react negatively to their words. Maintain your version of reality and your positive version of yourself. Remember, they intend to make you feel small and incompetent and alone. So by keeping this perspective in mind, you can start to protect yourself. Don't expect any kind of resolution from a debate or apologies because they don't take responsibility for their actions. They're manipulating you to take on the negative emotions and the shame that they're really feeling. So, once again, this is not a true debate, so don't get involved. Also, don't think constantly about what was said, what you could have said, what you're going to say next time, because this is just hijacking your mental space and your energy and creates more self-doubt and less self-belief. It keeps you focused on the narcissist, which is what they want. So instead, start to focus on yourself. Think about who you want to be, what you want to do in this life, and start to do those things. If you feel nervous and tense just at the thought of seeing the narcissist, then take a time out and don't see them. Focus on doing the things that you want to do in your life, becoming who you want to be. Don't worry about what they think about you, what other people think about you. Take your energy back, your mind back, and your life back, and live the life you want to live. Become the person you want to become. These things are not easy to do, but it's important for you to take a stand because this is probably the only time you're going to be this particular person in this particular body in this particular time. And so you chose to be here, to shine and make the most of what you are and to evolve. So I hope this has been helpful and interesting for you. Wherever you are in the world, I wish you love and courage in your journey, and I'll see you next time. Take care and bye for now.